What is up, everyone? I am back with another horror collection update video. Before I get into it, though, I'd like to thank all my more recent subscribers and everybody who's been supporting my channel. I am planning on doing a contest later on this year. I just need to come up with some prizes, and I'm also working on an idea for the contest video. So when I'm ready, you guys will know, obviously. Hoping to have multiple winners for this one. So stay tuned for that. All right, now on to the update. I got 5 DVDs I want to talk about today. All right, and first up we have a found footage movie, and it's called Capture, Kill, Release. Initially, I wasn't interested in picking this one up. I mainly got it because it was a used copy from Family Video, and I needed to get the cost down on the other 2 titles that I wanted, so I decided to give this one a shot, and I'm really glad I did because I really ended up enjoying this one. This movie is a found footage movie, and it's about this couple that planned to just kill a random person, but they want to document it, so they buy a video camera, and it's them going through the motions of what they want to do and how they're going to do it. The gore is really, really good in this one. The main actress, played by Jessica Fraser, she's the heart of this movie. I think without her, this film wouldn't have been nearly as good. She really powers this movie along, and even when nothing's really happening, it's still really interesting to watch, which is a problem that I have with a lot of found footage movies, but not with this one. This one also has really great gore effects as well. It's almost like to the point of how do they do that with a couple scenes. So, highly recommend this one, Capture, Cure, Release. Okay, the first film of this update. All right, next up we have the Boredoms ones, and this one is kind of inspired by The Evil Dead, and that's why I was kind of curious because I haven't seen too many other films that were inspired by The Evil Dead. This one does a good job. I think it was more inspired by the remake as opposed to the first one, and this one does add a couple extra new themes in it as opposed to just like people being possessed and stuff like that. This one is about a couple, and the one the girl's brother has got cerebral palsy, and they got this house, and they're trying to take care of him. But there's like kind of like a spell book and stuff like that going on with it as well. This one also has really great gore effects in this one. I won't get too much more into this one. I did enjoy it. It'd probably be better had the Evil Dead not existed, but we always know it's inspired by it, so it kind of takes away from it a little bit. So that's the Bournemouth ones. Okay, next up we have The Barn, and this is another kind of retro type film inspired by the films like The Evil Dead and stuff like that from 1980s. I really like this one because it's got like stickers on it, like an old rental copy. So you got the horror thing on the spine. This one's a really, really cheap movie, although there is a cameo at the very beginning by Linnea Quigley, so that's always a plus. This one's about this barn that if you go to it near Halloween and stuff like that, these demons arise and start slaughtering people. This one's okay. Really, really low budget, but it's a labor of love type of film, so that's The Barn. Next up, we have Truth or Dare. Now, this is a YouTube-inspired horror movie, and it's about this group of YouTubers that have this channel called Truth or Dare, and they're being terrorized by a deranged fan and forced to play Truth or Dare for real. And this is an okay movie. This one's got really good gore effects. The main problem that I have with this film is the main characters really don't deserve what they get. And I know that's kind of the plot. They try to make them up to be really bad people. And aside from one of the characters, most of them really aren't that bad, and the things that they've done really weren't that bad. But the main thing about this film is it takes place, it's shot like a regular movie. Had I made the film, I would have gone with I would have made it look like a YouTube video, like have the person clicking on the screen and the movie and the video playing up, as opposed to it just being a regular movie. But this one's okay. It's probably worth at least one watch. Alright, next up we have a vampire film, and it's called The Ecstasy of Isabel Man. And I was really looking forward to checking this one out. I love this artwork. Unfortunately, the movie really isn't that good. And I think the main problem is the structure of the story. Like, this one is told out of order, and it really needed to be told, straight through, chronologically. And it's a really big problem with the movie because you don't really get a sense of what the main character was like before she became a vampire. Because when it starts, she's being attacked, and then most of the story you actually have told to you by a detective that's investigating all these missing kids, and he's discovered that Isabel is the link between all these missing kids, and that's another problem with the story too, because you got an idea of what the story really should be, and it's not really doing that. And the vampires in the movie, they don't talk, and Isabel Mann's character only has a couple lines at the beginning and then near the end of the movie. There's some good gore and there's a couple good kill scenes. But other than that, I really can't recommend this one. Although this is an Irish vampire film, by the way, if you're interested in that. And last up, we have You're Not Alone. And the reason why I was interested in this one, because this is a first-person POV type horror film, except this one's from the perspective of the victim instead of the killer, because usually you have films like the Maniac remake, whereas the killer's perspective, which is usually an easier way to go with that. This film, I didn't really like it. It was really hard to watch this one. It was a real chore to sit through it, mainly because you're in perspective of this college girl who's coming home for the holidays. This one takes place during the 4th of July. And she's visiting with her grandmother, talking with her brother and this and that and old friends and stuff. And eventually she gets stalked by a serial killer. And there's another problem with the story too, is there's several points where the movie should have ended because she got away, but they wanted to keep the movie going, so she makes really dumb decisions. So I can't recommend this one. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. That's my update. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you all next time.